Welcome back to the decadent Marriott Marquis here in Manhattan. We're at the DFS Players Conference. The expensive Marriott Marquis. I don't know. We paid about $11 for an awful dirty martini last night.
No, it was way more than $11. But
was it?
Yeah.
I don't know. You were paying.
Somebody said $7 for a water.
Here's the one thing. Someone asked me about the conference, and one of the things that was brought up was that the place was too big, that if they have it in the future, a smaller hotel, because people don't conjugate because you never know where anybody is. Do you think
they don't congregate, you mean?
Yeah, conjugate.
Right.
Something about verbs?
Did I say consummate?
All right. Well, I think we know what he meant. It's close enough. All right, we're back to the game. I'm gonna kick this up a notch, and we're going to play some game show music in the background here. See if I can get this going here.
Oh boy, now he's gonna.
And here we go.
This is my alley right here.
I don't know. Does this work?
Sussman loves
How about this?
How
about that, huh?
Yeah, that's great.
All right. Let's see if we can do any better here with the
your
questions.
Host, Michael Cardano.
You do love being an
Who has the higher average ADP going into next season? Who's going to have the higher ADP? Blake Bortles, David Carr,
Derek Carr, probably.
Javis. Yeah, that's right. Derek Carr. No. Let's go with David.
Carr.
Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, or somebody else who has less than 3 years experience in the NFL. Tony, you're first.
I go with Derek High. Right now, he's
not an option.
No, he is an option. I misspoke.
Yeah.
He said conjugate.
He's not the host.
He's the third in the league. He's third in the league in passing attempts. The Oakland Raiders with Michael Crabtree, Amari Cooper, and Clive Wolford's going to be a great tight end in this offense. They're going to continue to be a strong passing game.
Scott.
I'm going to agree. I'm going to say Derek Carr is what I was going to say anyway. These are not the Raiders they used to be. The stigma is disappearing. He's got Amari Cooper. Michael Crabtree's going to continue to be a fit in this offense. Clive Wolford's going to come on. Latavius Murray even catches passes out of the backfield.
You know, you talk about, everyone said today and yesterday that these are the same old Raiders that they used to be. Well, you know what? These aren't the same old Jags they used to be either. The Jacksonville Jaguars, yes, Nando DeFino, they're going up finally. Allen Robinson, Allen Hurns, TJ Yeldon. You talk about triplets. How about quadruplets here in Jacksonville? Blake Bortles is a guy whose arrow is pointing up. I don't care if it's garbage time. I don't care if it's crunch time. Blake Bortles is the guy that I want going forward. He has the highest ADP.
Quick consensus, who has the better duo there of wide receivers, the Raiders or the Jaguars? Tony?
In 1 year, it's definitely the Raiders. Crabtree does not get the credit he deserves. Amari Cooper, as good as he is, only has one red zone target. Crabtree's been the guy in Oakland.
I would say Oakland. I mean, I'm going to have to say Jacksonville because I like Allen Hurns better than Crabtree. But the reason I like Carr better is I think you see less mistakes, even though the Jacksonville has a better receiving crew.
Going forward, I think it's Jacksonville. We have no idea if Crabtree will be back next year. So for me, I'll go with Jacksonville, who together, they're growing as an offense.
They ain't winning any games.
I don't care about that in fantasy.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, if you look at it, the interceptions are a big problem for the Jaguars quarterback. Every game we get 2 interceptions.
But we get a lot of touchdowns.
He's a gunslinger.
Well, Carr's getting the touchdowns and he's getting no interceptions.
Yep.
I'm going to have to go with Tony and Scott on this one. It was close.
I will never get
points
close when you host
I
games.
will give you a half point. I will give you a half point. There you go, half. And Scott. And right now, Tony's winning 4-2 to 1.5.
I'm beating a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. All right. The next question is, Tom Brady will lose, assuming he will, to what team in the playoffs and why?
Who's that to?
Scott.
Tom Brady will not lose to anybody in the playoffs. The Patriots are going all the way again. They're going to win the Super Bowl.
Well,
I just don't
answering
believe
the question. You're not going to get a point no matter what you say now. Assuming he loses, make the argument. Who's he going to lose to, and why?
Okay, if he does lose a game, I think it'll be in the Super Bowl. I think a lot of people underrate Arizona, but I still think Carolina might be the best team right there. The way Cam Newton's playing, they have a very good defense. If Kuechly is healthy, everybody's healthy. I think they get revenge for Jake Delhomme losing in the Super Bowl many years ago. It could be Arizona, but I think it's going to be Carolina. I don't think anybody in the AFC can take New England out.
Greg.
Let's just use logic here. Tom Brady has lost how many Super Bowls? Please answer, anybody.
2.
How many teams have beaten Tom Brady in the Super Bowl?
One.
That team's going to beat him again! The third time in a row!
Who?
The New York Football Giants!
Oh, what a homer. Take
They're
negative points
the only
away.
team that have proven in history to beat Belichick and Brady in the Super Bowl. I don't see why they wouldn't do it again. Carolina couldn't do it. Philly couldn't do it. Why in the heck would you think that the Giants could do it?
Defense.
Ridiculous homer
Well, you
answer.
know what? The Giants' defense will come together. The offense will come together. For the third time, the Giants will beat the Patriots.
You should throw
Tony.
him off the panel for that.
I think it's going to be the Cincinnati Bengals. I believe the Cincinnati Bengals are the best all-around team in the National Football League. If you look at that offensively, they have the double-headed monster at running back. They have a tight end in Tyler Eifert, who might be the second-best tight end to Rob Gronkowski. They have A.J. Green, who's the top 3 wide receiver, and they got a defense. New England Patriots don't have 2 cornerbacks. They don't rush the passer. The Cincinnati Bengals are better today than the New England Patriots.
Let me ask you this, though. Andy Dalton, who's never won a playoff game, is going to beat Tom Brady in the playoffs?
Yeah, that's what I'm almost scared about.
Scott, I would have given you the point, but you messed up the question from the beginning. You didn't answer, so Tony gets the point. That was very good delivery there. That's not happening. Sorry, Greg. All right. Greg first. In your best Nando DeFino voice, give me the play-by-play of Russell Wilson's Super Bowl losing goal line interception. Go, Gregory.
Russell Wilson rolls out to his right. He throws it to Lockett. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's going to be a donut right there.
All right, Scott.
Wilson drops back. Thought they were going to run. He throws it. It's intercepted by Malcolm Smith. What a bad throw by Wilson. Blake Bortles would have never done that.
All right, Tony, go ahead.
Wilson drops back. JJ, can I get a beer? JJ, can I get a beer? Oh, what the hell happened here? Did you see that? Scotty Engel.
You know what? I think Tony's was the best, but I think Scott was the most accurate. So Scott, I'm going to give it a Scott. All right.
That was the best question of the day.
All right. Tony, you first. Did you ever totally make up an answer on the air and deliver the answer with confidence? If so, what was the Q&A?
Did I ever answer a question on the air and deliver it with confidence?
No, totally make up the answer. You had no idea what the answer is. You just made it up, but you delivered it with confidence. What was the question? What was the answer?
All right, so the question was, Tony, have you ever gone on a date and wasn't sure if it was a male or a female? And I said, you know what? It's all about 2015. It's about acceptance. And I love Caitlyn Jenner. I support the cause. And I went with confidence, and I put it behind me. And I still have no idea.
Scott?
Read the question again, please.
Have you ever been asked a question? You had no idea what the answer was, but you just made it up as you went along, but you delivered it with confidence.
Yes, fantasy golf question. And because I read Pat Mayo's article before the break, I felt I had to deliver it with full confidence.
All right, Greg?
Absolutely. I was asked, would I watch midget football? And I said yes, because of Vern Troyer. Now, I have no idea if Vern Troyer knows how to play football, but the fact is I went for it hard. I didn't get the point, but I truly believed it.
You are getting the point now, Greg, and I'm going to give you that half point that you missed before. You're now at a total of 3. All right. Who's up? Whose turn is it?
It's Tony's.
Tony. Finish the nursery rhyme. Mary had a little lamb.
Mary had a little lamb. I like to eat ham. I don't know any of these nursery rhymes.
What the hell?
Go ahead, Scott.
Mary had a little lamb. Unfortunately, she was a Jet fan. I don't know.
Greg?
Mary had a little lamb. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, that's perverted.
It's good. He gets a point. That's 4.
Catching up.
All right, here we go. Greg, we'll go with you.
Okay.
The fantasy sport that has the best odds of a novice being able to win more often than not is
Fantasy football. There's, I think, the most amount of players in fantasy football. Fantasy basketball, fantasy baseball, it's a daily grind. It's knowing who is sitting at all times. It's knowing, when it comes to baseball, the park factors, the umpire factors, how they hit lefties and righties. In basketball, even tonight, for instance, you're seeing guys being sat at the last minute. It's just knowing the tendency of referees there as well. When it comes to fantasy football, with the millions of players that we have, anybody, I think, could get lucky once in a while, could randomly get their lineups right and have some success. I think the answer is fantasy football.
Scott.
I'm going to say it's not football. I'm going to say it's basketball because there are so many people playing football and less people playing basketball. And if there's a wealth of information out there, I think it's easier to compete in basketball. I'm not the best basketball player, and I've cashed in.
Tony.
Can I say that? I think that's the worst answer, to tell you the truth.
So I subtract the point from it.
I agree.
The reason being, here's the thing, is that I think there's less basketball players, and I think the basketball players are good.
Smarter,
They play
yeah.
because they're in it every day. But the reason fantasy football is the easiest is that it's the wealth of information. Yep. Every single website gives you fantasy football advice. It's thrown at you. Everybody's playing it. You can go to NBC, and that's the only fantasy sport they're going to cover. CBS, the only fantasy sports they're going to cover. It's everywhere.
Scott, you got a point taken away. You're down to 2. Tony, you get a point. You're at 6, 4 for Greg. Matter of fact, I'm going to take Scott's point. That goes to me, and I'm not playing. All right.
This is rigged. You know he was never going to let me win.
Scott, the single best mind in daily fantasy sports today is?
Guy sitting next to me, Tony Cincotta. Not only does he know the games inside and out, he knows the industry inside and out. I would put my bankroll behind Tony Cincotta in just about any daily fantasy sport. You know, that's the reason why he's here, why he's on the Fantasy Sports Network, why we brought him on. I would listen to Tony at just about any time.
Scott, take your head up from the table,
I'll
please.
point out that you're buttering up and that you're bordering on losing another point. You only have one left. Tony, go ahead.
Yeah, but you're totally biased against me.
Actually,
so it
in
doesn't
2013, this came up to me. I told Lou Mayone that we had to get Drew Dinkmeyer. I thought Drew Dinkmeyer is the most influential person in fantasy sports other than Matthew Berry at the time. Now, with the advent of daily fantasy sports, I'll make the argument that he's more for the industry than Matt Berry.
Yeah, my answer is Drew Dinkmeyer as well, because not only is he a wealth of information, not only does he just provide you analysis every single day, dude wins millions, right? This guy is a winner. He has won millions himself. He's helping other people win millions. For me, he's the obvious answer, Drew Dinkmeyer.
You know what? I'm going to give Scott the point. Perhaps I've been too hard on him all along.
No shot.
I'm going to give him 2 points. I took one away before I feel bad about it, so Scott, I'm adding 2 points for you here. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll come back with a little more trivia right here at the DFS Players Conference, the Marriott Marquis in New York City. We'll be right back.